Alright, good afternoon everyone. Today is Wednesday, November 28th, 2012. Let's just do the results of the live trading room this morning. We ended up +7 on the soybeans and +4 on the gold. We ended up break even on the crude. Right at the end of the morning session, for anybody that stuck around for an extra couple of minutes, I took a trade to get back to break even on the crude. I was down 3 ticks right at the close of the morning session, but I stayed about 2 or 3 minutes longer because it was a trade setting up. And I did get my 3 ticks and got back to break even on the crude oil. If you have not taken a trial with us, go to www.cfrn.net/apply. Sign up for the free trial. All we ask for is your name and your email address. In the free trial, you get access to everything that you see here. You will be sent an email with instructions on how to download the charting platform, how to download the indicators, how to install the indicators. If you want to use my layout, just send me an email at support@cfrn.net requesting my layout, and I'll be happy to send it off to you. And you also get access to Dwayne and I. You get 2 hours per day in our live trading room for 5 business days, where we trade live right in front of you in the live market, and we show you how to see the trades coming, how to expect the market to move. Okay, what to anticipate from the market in the very short term. All right, that's it. Let's move on to the trades. Okay, if you haven't taken the free trial, www.cfrn.net/apply. Okay, if you're a partner, you should have. There's a partners meeting tomorrow night. If you're on the trial, you should have something in your email with all the information it takes to become a partner, so you can get into that partners meeting tomorrow night. Check your email. Okay. If anyone has any questions, email them directly to us at support@cfrn.net. Okay. Or you can call. Let's see. You could call 1-866-928-3310. 866-928-3310. Okay. That's it. Moving on to the trades. I'll start right off with the soybeans since I'm looking at them right now. I like a short on the soybean from right here, right where we are right now, as a matter of fact. Excuse me. I like it right there. Okay. But let's go over the trades that we actually took. Here we were this morning, right after the open. Price pulled. Well, it wasn't even the open of the soybeans. It was the open of the markets. The soybeans didn't open until over here. But price pulled back up, tested the BBC, started to pull back off the BBC. We drew our trend line in here. We waited for the down close. We got short on the down close with the bearish divergence off the BBC. And we took a little bit of profit on that one right there. Once it started to move down here, we had moved our stop to break even plus a couple of ticks. Okay, 2 or 3 ticks right in there. And it came back up and got us out at that profit that we had locked in. All right, in this particular case, on the next one, we had a bullish cross right here. Price pulled back down to the BBC. Again, we had bullish divergence. We waited for the up close right in here. Then we got long on the second up close right here. Okay, that closed right here at this trend line. We got long on that. We took profit up here at the top of the prior swing. We got out of that right there. You can see it kept going up. There was another opportunity here. There was no opportunity here. Then I was looking for an opportunity over here on the short side, but the market turned long on us. We went with the long over here when we had the opportunity. Okay, we had the up close on the other side of this trend line I had drawn on here. I got long in there. It went up here, gave us some profit. I moved my stop up to break even, and it took me out of break even before it moved way up here. All right, so not as many opportunities as we normally have in the soybeans in the morning. But we did have, we had 3 or 4 of them in there, and we ended up +7 ticks on the beans. Okay, there was another one over here that happened during the break, and there's this one right now that's happening, 14.45 quarter. That should go at least down here. I would think it would probably go down to here at 14.43. Okay, we'll keep an eye on that one. Moving over here to the ES, we took one trade on the ES this morning. It wasn't off a 10,000 contract chart, but we're looking at a 10,000 contract chart. What I want to point out here on the 10,000 contract chart is a couple of things. One, the gravestone doji right in here. Now we had a webinar a couple weeks ago with Steve Bigelow. Came in and did something with us. He's a candlestick guy. Wrote a candlestick book, a couple of books actually. And one of the things that he said, and I pointed this out as it was happening today, is when you get a doji at an area of support, or even if it's not an area of support or resistance, from the doji, the next bar usually gives you the direction. Okay, you see we had a doji here, a down bar, said it was going down. Doji here with an up bar suggested it was going up. Doji over here with an up bar after it suggested it was going up. These are all little things that we went over in the live trading room this morning as it was trading. Right here, doji, up bar, up it went. It's got to be in the right context, and that's all stuff that you'd learn with us in the live trading room. All right. The actual trade that I took on the ES was way back here. All right, price pulled back down, tested the BBC, and gave an up close on the 4-tick range, ES. All right, we had the bullish divergence. I got long right in there. I sat through all this, and then eventually I just moved my stop to break even when price was up here. It came back down and popped me out at break even. Actually, price was up here. It came back down and popped me out at break even before it made this big move up, right before it made that big move up. And that was the only trade I took on the ES this morning. Okay, I didn't take any trades on the NQ or the YM. Not to say there weren't many available. There were many available. Here we are. Okay, we had opportunity right in here. Let's see. Let me just scroll back. Oh, I guess I did take a trade here on the NQ. I didn't realize I did. I didn't remember taking the trade. Right here at the open, we had a pullback, went right through the BBC. We weren't really looking for much there. It was coming off a lower low, so you would have expected this to hold here on the yellow brick road. Okay, here it didn't go. It didn't put in a lower swing, so you wouldn't have expected this to hold. It went through it. It didn't put in a higher swing, so you wouldn't have expected this to hold, and it dropped through that. We didn't really have any opportunities in here on this big drop down. Then we had a high impact news event right in here that pushed it all the way down there. We had right in here, there was an opportunity if you were looking at it closing down below the trend line. Actually, the black got up above the green, and there wasn't really any opportunity in there. This was the one that I took. All right, it pulled back down, tested the BBC. It closed up off the BBC, but because the cycle was headed down, it was red and headed down, I wanted to wait for the close up above the trend line that I drew in there. So I got long right in here. It gave me a few ticks profit. I ended up moving my stop up to break even, and I got taken out at break even before it made this big move up. All right. There were a couple more opportunities in here where you could have entered. Actually, quite a few more opportunities in here where you could have entered on this move up, but I did not. Okay. Now, just I want to. I'm at a loss for words. I wanted to just go through again in here what you're looking at. Okay. Typically, you would look for a bullish cross of the MA1, which is the red and blue line, over the BBC, which is the green line. BBC stands for bull bear cross. That's this green line right here. Okay. You would look for a pull up above that, then a pull back down to the BBC with bullish divergence and an up close, a close in the direction of the cross. You could get long right in here for that move up. Okay. What I was doing and what I was showing was another way to get into trades if it doesn't pull all the way back to the BBC. All right, or even if it does pull back to the BBC, but you lose your divergence. I was showing ways to trade if that happens to take place. Okay. All right, and that's what we've been doing for the last few weeks. Anyway, I've been trying to show that to people for the last few weeks, how to be able to take more opportunity in the market. That was the NQ, the YM. It's all the same. All the 4-tick range charts are going to have the same exact trade set up right in here. You would look for right here. Oops. You see we had the bullish divergence to start with, but by the time it got down to the BBC and gave an up close, the divergence was gone. So in that case, you wait until you get a close up above that trend line. All right, get the close above the trend line, and up it went. Right here where we are right now, the same thing just happened right here. All right, here's our trend line. Actually, was that the trend line? Yeah, here's our trend line right there. Okay, by the time it pulled back down to the BBC and gave an up close over here at the the cycle was moving against you, you wait for the close up above the cycle and then it moves up. Okay, that is what's going on. I wanted to just take a peek at the soybeans over here and see what happened with that. Still not doing anything, but we anticipate that it's going to go down through this level right here, 1444.50. Everything that I just said just happened over here on the NQ as well. We had the bullish divergence right there, right? Pullback test of the BBC, up close with the bullish divergence, and then we got to close above the trend line, suggesting it was going to keep going up. All right. Before we go any further, I want to make sure that I've answered any questions that anybody might have. I know I tend to just get on a roll and I talk and talk and talk. And if anybody has any questions about anything that I'm covering in here, whether you're on the trial, whether you're a partner on the trial, or you're just curious, throw it out there, and I will respond to it. All right, and we'll record it, and it'll be in the recap. Let's see. Right here, this is crude oil. My last trade of the morning was right here, right at the close of the morning session. I said I had shorted a little bit to get back to break even right here. I was down a couple of ticks, a few ticks actually. I took 3 trades this morning. My first trade this morning was right in here. We had lost the divergence down here, meaning the red cycle portion of the slingshot was going down against us when we got our pullback, so I went long on the close above the trend line. It went sideways for a little bit, and then it stopped me out. -7 ticks. I waited for the next opportunity over here. I actually missed this one. I tried to get in that one, but I missed it. And I got into the next one over here, and I took a few ticks profit on that. Just going through, where did I take it? Where did I take the next one? I took the next one way over here. But there was another one right in here. You can see right there. We had bullish divergence down here to support the long trade right there. We had bullish divergence to support the long trade, bouncing off the BBC. We got the up close, and we got long in there, and it went up. But we didn't get long, but you could have gone long. Sorry, my bad. And let's see, it got choppy in here, so we weren't watching it because we had the crude inventories coming out. All right. I believe the crude inventories came out a little lower than expected. That's why we had a price move up. All right. We didn't have any opportunity really right in here because it was moving so fast. Right in here, there was a trend line that I drew across the top. So a close up above that, you could have gotten long on. I did actually get long on a close above this trend line right here. We had some bearish divergence down here, suggesting that this was gonna top out right here, or actually draw down a little bit. So I took some profit pretty quick on that. And it did draw down a little bit. It ended up going up some more. There were more opportunities in here, but it got kind of messy because everything kept crossing down below the BBC. So we didn't do anything in there until we got way over here at the end of the morning session. Okay, I saw this one coming together. We had a nice move down after consolidating for a while. We had a nice move down. Price attempted to pull back to the BBC, and it didn't. I drew the trend line. When it closed below it, I got short and took a few ticks profit on it. We had nice bearish divergence to support that trade as well. Since then there have been a few more opportunities here during the break. We had a couple of times in here where we could have gotten in and shorted, and could have gotten in and gone long as well. Okay. Now when I draw these here, what I'm looking at is as price approaches our BBC, so you need to have this BBC here, but as price is approaching the BBC, once the MA1 is crossed up above it, so you know what direction to look in, okay? Price is pulling down, approaching the BBC. Once the MA1 is crossed above it, then you would look for price to come down and hit it and bounce off it with bullish divergence. That would be your first indication, all right? But if it doesn't actually hit it, and it starts to move back up without touching the BBC, well, normally you would be left stranded down here and not be able to take the trade. But if you want just to jump in on the momentum, take the trade when it closes above that trend line, because it didn't hit the BBC. It's got so much momentum, it didn't pull all the way back to the BBC. You can jump in right here and ride it up. Okay, it's pretty straightforward, pretty simple. It's the same thing on all the 4-tick range charts. Okay, here's gold, same exact stuff here on gold. All right, We took some trades on gold today, I thought, right? Yeah, we did. We're plus 4 ticks on gold. It was right in here. All right, price pulled back up, tested the BBC. Now, we could have gone short right here on the down close because we had bearish divergence at the same time. I waited for the close below the trend line, and off that, I went down here and I moved my stop. In this particular case, I should have just taken profit right here, but I thought when it broke this level right here, it was going to go down pretty fast. So when it did break that level, I moved my stop to plus 4 ticks, and that's what it came back and took me out at. You can see I've drawn a whole bunch of these trend lines in here along the way, and you can see that most of the time when it continued in the direction on the other side of the trend line, there was a nice opportunity there for us. I took another trade in here, a long trade, and I ended up taking a break even on that one. Just scrolling through here, the market had some really flat periods in here where we didn't have any opportunity. And let's see, we had, this is it right here. That's where we currently are right now. We have some bullish divergence. Okay, we have bullish divergence right here, meaning the green line is moving away from the cycle portion of the slingshot. That's bullish divergence. We do have that bullish divergence. However, the cycle is red and starting to head down. So what we're going to look for is a close up above this trend line that I just drew on there. All right. Now that the MA1 is above the BBC, price is approaching the BBC. If it stops here and starts to change direction like this, we're going to look for a close above it. That wasn't a close above it. That was a close at it. Right? It was not above it. It was at it. So the trend line is still intact. Actually, we need to change the trend line right now. Right now, that's our trend line. Okay, because price has not hit the BBC. So you draw the trend line down until price hits the BBC. Okay, or changes directions completely. Okay. Let's see. Yep. See, now it's hit the BBC, so now we need to close above the BBC. The cycle portion of the slingshot is going totally against this trade, so there's no way I would take the up close off the bounce alone. All right, I want to see it break this trend line. We've had big moves up with small retracements here. This was a smaller move up with a smaller retracement. At some point, we're going to have, now that we've had a smaller move up, it's like it's running out of steam, right? At some point, we're going to have a bigger retracement and then a smaller move back and a bigger retracement. And it won't be a retracement then. The retracement will be moving up at that point. All right, that could be where we are right now. Okay. That is gold. The Russell, I'm not going to get into the Russell right now. And the Russell was the same exact stuff. All right, I didn't take any trades on the Russell because I didn't have a Russell Dom open today. But there were opportunities in here on the Russell. Here's one right in there. Here and there. Nothing over there. And that was pretty much it on the morning session. There were some pretty good opportunities today on the Russell. I know we had some partners that had met their goal pretty early on in the day trading the Russell. Okay. Let's see. Let's go back to everything else here. The soybeans are still working themselves out. What were the other markets that I said I thought there were trades going or about to happen on? Well, anyway, that's pretty much it. If you have not taken a free trial with us, go to www.cfrn.net/apply. Sign up for the free trial. You'll get to see me do all this stuff live in real time. And if you have taken the free trial with us, if you're on the free trial, you should have something in your inbox telling you how to become a partner if you want to become a partner. And if you don't have it in your inbox, you can't find it in your inbox, give us a call. You can call 866-928-3310, 866-928-3310. Okay. And you can also email us directly at support@cfrn.net. All right. With that, I am going to stop the recording.